So, a lot of people think I'm just, just like a lot of these other girls that are just out to get what I want. I don't see both sides of things. Listen. I was not in it for any of those reasons in my last relationship. I was not out to just blindly save somebody, blindly take their side, even though that is what this person wanted me to be. I might have jumped in to help, and I went along with things. And as time went on, I felt a lot of love. Things got serious. But originally, I was only in it to lend that person some emotional support in a time of tragedy and grief. And I was more like a homie. I was more like, hold up, wait a minute. Slow it on down. This is what I need to tell y'all. You dudes or you chicks that are busting up into people's lives so fast, trying to get serious, slow your roll. Slow the fuck down. Nobody's on fire. Everybody's got plenty of time. Nobody going nowhere if they're real. What the hell? Slow your roll. Go take some dating classes or something, okay? We've all had to go through it. Now, it's different for a lot of different individuals. I get it. If you're a person that got married young, I was one of them. Married at 17, divorced a year later. Married again, had 2 kids, stayed married almost 7 years. Single again at 24. I've had a lot of different experiences in life. But I can relate after coming out of a marriage, especially if it's a long number of years or a long partnership, you are going to feel like a fish out of water. And you're going to want to rebound out of instinct very quickly. Everything that I told you when you came to me was accurate. Everything that I told you when you came to me was wisdom. It was because I had been out here in this fucking dating world. I had not been sitting up under the same person, whether it was healthy or not, codependent. I had not been doing that for the last 20 years. I had been doing a lot of other things. Different types of experiences, different types of growth, learning different types of energies, personalities, and mine came through a lot of hard knocks, but I can relate. After my marriage, I was kind of the same way. Even though we were separating and I was young and I wanted to do things in the world, I still felt like I was supposed to hurry up and settle back in with somebody. And I literally, just because of the way I grew up, the trauma, the abuse, everything was kind of backwards. I was living in little bitty small towns where people just kind of hook up and move in and they're just kind of together. They don't really live their own separate lives and date one another and get to know each other over long periods of time and not get too serious too fast. I had to learn all that stuff backwards and later on in life, okay, as I got on into my late 20s and early 30s. And it came with a lot of hard knocks. A lot of rejections, okay? Because things, depending on where you live, where you go, things are going to be different. The crowds you're hanging with, the people you're meeting. Typically, though, depending on your crowd, people are busy, men and women. They have lives, they have purpose, they have jobs, they have things to do. And a lot of times, people don't want to settle right in with you. They don't know you. But see, that's the thing. You will have that mentality. You won't know any better if you've been in a long-term relationship or you're codependent. Now, some people are just the opposite when they come out of a long-term relationship. They've been traumatized. They've been damaged. They feel like they've been in prison. They're ready to be free. They don't want to be with anybody. They want to be alone. Different strokes for different folks. But I'm just saying, if you've done that before, I relate to it. I remember what it was like as a younger person to be getting out of a long-term or being used to be with a man all the time since I was a young person and feeling like a fish out of water when I wasn't. That was codependency. And it took me a long number of years to outgrow that. And I had some people come into my life and assist me with that. One of my longer term relationships, somebody that I considered a best friend, taught me a lot. It kind of hurt that he didn't want a commitment, but I learned a lot from him. And I really found myself during that whole situation. So the point is, these people out here doing this whole, especially at 30-something, 40-something years old, because you can really fuck up somebody else's life if you don't know what you really want. And everything I told you was on point. It was accurate. I was trying to do shit right from the beginning, and you weren't giving a shit what you were doing. Grief-stricken. Your child had passed away. You're drunk. You got all these things going on. I'm just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow your roll. I like you. I already had feelings for you. Okay? We had a past. We had, whatever happened in the past. I understand karmic debt too. I'll go into that shit another day. I understand karmic debt. Sometimes we got to pay in a little bit. I didn't feel good about that. I didn't feel good about what happened years ago, and that should have told me something, especially about you. But I figured, and then in the years after that, I changed my life. I became a completely different person. I forgave myself. I moved on. That's why, karma, yeah, but I also feel that when you change your life and your apology is genuine and you make changes to pay it forward, moving forward, that it's okay. You got to go on and forgive yourself for those actions. But at least bring them up, admit them, and change your ways. If you go on into the future with that same slimy attitude, high narcissism, sleeping with folks, cheating, doing whatever doing, and you don't change those behaviors, okay. You get what you get. But I became a different person. And in the years after that, when you contacted me here and there, I always liked you. But you had a life. You were married. And just because I did something one time, see, I grow. That's what people didn't know about me. She was popping off too, all those years later. Yeah, that happened, but I'm a completely different fucking person 8 years, 10 years later. Well, this is 15 years later now, but back when we first got together. Come on. And I assumed, and in the years to follow after that, I meant what I said. I liked you, you're cool, but no, there's no way I wanted up in that fucking drama. I could smell it, I could sense it. Nope. And I should have kept following my intuition about you. But I liked you. I liked you as a person. And I remember what you told me. Even though you were over there with me all those years ago, before we ever got together. Years and years and years back. You love your family. Okay. Then why are you here with me? Doing what you're doing? That should have told me something about your mentality. But I participated too, which I didn't have nothing to lose. I wasn't committed to anybody. I was single, raising my kids, doing my own thing. I didn't have anybody to fucking answer to. I did what I wanted to do. I was a different person back then, more narcissistic back then. I went along with it, but you were also manipulative. People do that. Oh, yes. Generally, when somebody's going to cheat on their partner, well, she's mean to me. We're kind of in an open relationship, even though she was pregnant. Oh, yeah. Far along pregnant, too. And I thought, what? Oh, yeah, we're kind of, in an open relationship. It just kind of happened, but we don't really have that much to do with each other anymore. And she's mean to me, and she doesn't even really like me, That was the tone of everything. And I wasn't stupid. I wasn't born yesterday. I grew up around an alcoholic father, running around with him and his brothers and his buddies. I paid attention. I listened. I watched all the shit they do and pull off and all kinds of crap. 4 brothers. Come on, I wasn't born yesterday. Lots of male friends. I know what immature, emotional, and I thought, oh, shit. I bet that's what he's doing. He's one of those. He's one of those guys. The emotionally immature. And I didn't know what to call them back then. But I had been around those types that if they do something wrong to somebody, they run out and do something to punish them on top of it. What's that saying? No good deed goes unpunished. It's like weird. And I didn't know what to call that back then, but it's a narcissist. Yeah, a narcissistic abuser. We're all narcissists. We can be on the healthy level of narcissism. But yeah, betrayers, manipulators, liars, deceivers, all that kind of shit. And yeah, I was like, oh, it's one of those people. I didn't have the term back then, but I just knew there was something about them that was really immature, and that I would call it ball up on their feelings. Like if they did something wrong, they would get all balled up and start punishing you and striking out at you and doing bad things to you. Like to create some kind of distraction, I guess. I don't know. But I thought to myself, listen to this dude. He's one of those dudes. She's so mean to him. They don't have nothing to do with each other. I bet she is fucking mean. 8.5 months pregnant. I bet she felt like shit. And it really kind of sickened me. I thought, look at this fucking person. What did she do? She maybe didn't feel like dropping everything and screwing you big and pregnant. Oh, I know you now. I know exactly how you are. Because I know what the fuck you put me through. You know, and I'm always a person that's out for fairness. Okay, but let me back up a little bit. We'll get there. I went on and participated, though, all those years ago. Yes, I did. We went out and said, fuck it, we had a good time. Shit happened, didn't it? But I wasn't stupid. I'm like, yeah, she probably didn't do a damn thing to you. She probably is just pregnant and tired and sick and doesn't feel well, and you're probably one of those really, really immature men, dude, boys, or whatever, who, if you don't get what you want, goes out and cheats, goes out and punishes your partner, or she may have jumped on you, or you're probably drunk and irritating the fuck out of her. Yep. And, oh, well, I'll show her. I'll go out and cheat. I'll go out and punish her. Yep, that's the mentality. Now, I'm not saying in a lot of relationships, two people, it takes two to tango, and the other one's doing bad things too. I'm not saying that person didn't do some bad shit too. They probably did. But that's not every relationship. Now, there are relationships where one partner is trying really, really hard. They are loyal. They're trying to hit all the balances. They have nothing but love. And the other one is fucking it up right and left. There's those situations too. It don't always take two to tango. That saying's not always true. But, so that's how it all got started, right? And I participated. And I did have feelings for you. I buried those little feelings. I had because of the band and all of us knowing each other and being friends. But you made it very clear about your family. And I'm like, you don't have to tell me. That's fine. I got somebody else too. We're not in a committed relationship, but my heart belongs to somebody, so you don't have to worry about that. I was hurting too. I was in love with somebody I couldn't have. And, those were the days. But I felt really bad after that. I did. I felt bad, and I just didn't like myself anymore. I had been going through a lot of different suffering in another relationship, and suffering and feeling bad all the time, it's really what got it kicked off for me changing and growing in my emotional maturity, my spiritual maturity. Around 30, I had a spiritual awakening, and right after that incident with, things just really started to change. I was hurting in my own personal life, and I was like, I don't like this feeling, man. And if I don't change my ways and simmer down in my own narcissism and really take a look at my integrity and what I'm doing to other people, even though I didn't know that girl, still, it really bothered me putting myself in her shoes, and that's called empathy. That's called the ability to imagine what someone else could feel like, what it would do to them, what it would make them feel like, or if you were them, or any of that. Consideration for other people's feelings, and that really started to kick in hard with me. I didn't have a lot of it before then. I had it in a mediocre way, but I grew up rough. I grew up in abuse and trauma and all kinds of shit. I had to have a lot of therapy. Hey, it is what it is. I'm not proud of it. But you know, like I've said before, if you can admit some things you're ashamed of, that means you can grow. That means you're fully confident in the person you are now and that you have made the changes. If you hide that shit, I didn't do that, and you deny it, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. It means you're not changing. You have no faith in your growth. You're not growing. You're a liar. You're ashamed of yourself and a coward. You can't face anything. No accountability. No integrity. So years and years and years went on down the line, and you would contact me every once in a while on Facebook and say something about going to lunch. And I would say no, but I always had a little sweet spot in my heart for you. There was just something about you. I just always liked you, and something unique and different about you. So I always had those little feelings in there, but those were off limits. You were a married man, and I was going to respect that. And I did feel bad about what I did on an integrity level. And you never could, to this day, understand that. You took that offensively, like, what, you felt bad about sleeping with me? No, not that. You don't get it, though, on the level of integrity, on the level of loyalty, on the level of betrayal, on the level of karma, on any level. Why don't you respect people that have that? Self-awareness, integrity, people that want to have some kind of values. What the fuck, man? Because when the shit's done to you, you don't like it, do you? Oh, you want anarchy, you want chaos, you want anything goes. No big deal, right? But you'll be the first type of motherfuckers to sit up and, wow, somebody cheated on me. Oh, God, I'm pissed. And y'all know you can't even show it because you asked for it. That's right. That's why y'all hide your emotions so much and pretend. I'm not mad. I'm not hurt. I don't even care. Y'all know you can't show it because y'all know y'all been doing 10,000 times worse, and you know you asked for it. Yep. You know, just a few days ago, you said you didn't care. I don't care. I want anything go. Chaos. Y'all flippity flop with those emotional dysregulations. You moving the goalpost and what's all that shit? When it suits you, you say one thing. Oh, yeah, chaos. I don't like all those rules and boundaries and Miss Priss and integrity, and that's too stuffy and boring. But boy, let something fuck around and happen to a narcissist. Let something fuck around and happen to them. And they get cheated on. They get hurt. They get their little feelings wadded. You do the same shit, anything chaotic and fucked up happens to them, and watch how they completely melt down into a pile of goo. They are over. They are destroyed. Right. So, you know, anyway. Alright, I'm going to have to clip this. I have a hard time getting these to upload. They're getting too long. But, hush! After that, and the years after that, I said no. I changed my life, and that was just it. You know, I was promiscuous back in my day, but slowly over time, I started changing my ways, more self-respect, just doing different things, you know. And it's not that I didn't like you or have feelings for you, but I know you don't relate to this type of thing, but it was called discipline, self-control. It was called emotional growth. It was called spiritual growth. It was called emotional maturity, changing. And I said, no. Every time you ask me, no, you have a wife, take her to lunch. And I wasn't rude. I always smiled and thought it was nice when you messaged me, but I did think it very odd. Why is this man messaging me and probably other girls, wanting to take me to lunch, offering me money to help me pay my bills, and I barely know him? Yeah, we ran around together, music scene, similar friends. We had a hookup years ago, whatever, but I barely know you. What is this dude doing? Like, why are you offering? No, give that money to your family, and that's exactly what I said. Now, some of those other little stank-ass bitches may have taken you up on it, wanting to get their dope or whatever, but no, I said, no, man, give it to your family. You know, I respect you. I had fucking respect for you. That's why I acted that way. It's not anything fucking goes with this one here, okay? Even though we ended up like we ended up, I did what I did, still, I was still working on myself, okay? It was what it was. I had respect for you. I had respect for your family after that one deal. But you wanted to take it all personal, like, well, you didn't like me, and not even look at the beautiful qualities in the woman. You had no ability to look at the deeper qualities and go, instead of getting all offended and making everything personal about you, you couldn't look at the beautiful, deep qualities and go, that's a good person, man. You know, she really does care about people. She thinks deeply. She might have made some mistakes. I made some mistakes, but she doesn't like to hurt other people. She doesn't like to take what's not hers. She doesn't like to make people feel like shit. She has some kind of integrity there, okay? You couldn't value, you couldn't appreciate those things in me. You couldn't appreciate my loyalty. You couldn't appreciate my devotion. You couldn't appreciate the fact that I'm justice-minded. I'm about the justice and the fairness. Not what I want at all times. Not me winning at all costs, okay? So years went on, and I'll get into all that later. A lot of people know what happened, though. We ended up together 8 or 9 years later, after your child passed away, the divorce. What I really wanted to get into, though, oh, what's that saying? Veritas. Truth and justice. What's the Latin word for justice? Damn it, I can't remember it. Truth and justice. It has to be that. It has to be that over everything. And I finally said yes. Finally said yes. The time was right, okay. Because I would always ask you, every time you say something about going, I'll say, wait a minute, you still with Lori? You still with your wife? No, sir. That counts for something. People do change. People do grow. People do grow in their morals and values and what the fuck ever. You don't have to. I'm not some self-righteous twat. I don't care. But for me, that's what I was choosing to do. Because I wanted my energy in the right alignment. Fuck that. I don't want to get up in no shit like that. But I don't want to do that to anybody else anymore. Because I knew how horrible I felt. I knew how horrible people had treated me in my past. Cheated, lied, deceived. I didn't want to be a part of that anymore. Whatever part my energy was pulling in anywhere, I didn't want to be a part of it anymore. But that's what they do. These certain types of people, they go around manipulating and lying on their partner. She's mean to me. We don't hardly touch. She didn't even like sex. I know your ass ain't going around lying on me. You might lie on her, but see, that's what I want everybody to know. I wasn't the one just to sit there and blindly believe no bunch of horse shit. I would stop him. I go, whoa, hold up. I find that really hard to believe. You what? And if I would question it enough, he would finally go and tell the truth. See, people try to get away with lying. They try to get away with making their partners look bad, these narcissists. Covert narcissists especially. Some of them, though, you just have to keep asking, whoa, wait, that doesn't sound right. Tell me again. Now, what happened? And they'll go ahead and tell you. I know your ass ain't going around lying on my ass about nothing. Because I'll put it right out on ABC, NBC, FBI, Facebook. I don't give a fuck, and you know that. You know what lines you crossed. You know why I'm so public about everything. You know what you did. And you know what to do to fix it. You've always known. You know I was good to you, man. You know what you did. But I know you ain't telling nobody that shit about me, honey. Because if they got any questions at all, I'm right here. They can ask me. I don't know where she's at. I feel like she didn't really get to have a voice, and people made her look crazy and look like shit. Well, I'm not going to let that happen to me. That's the pattern, isn't it? It wasn't all her. Hell no. All of his friends and people that believed that, it was not all her. Nope. But that's what y'all love to do. Make your partner look crazy, lazy, sloppy, uncaring, unloving, a cheater, never a kind word. Please. I know you ain't gonna get by with that shit about me. Because there's too many fucking witnesses that know otherwise. Is you. Is your problem. You are the problem. I'm a problem too. But, so, make another point or two, and then I'm going to cut this one, and I'll upload a second part to this. Just things I want to get out, just for the fuck of it, because it's important to me. I was really going somewhere with it, but I needed to give it some context. Yeah. I became a different person, okay? And slow your roll, people. That's what it was about. Don't go barging into somebody's life with all these lies and manipulations and rebounds. Everything I told you came true, homie, didn't it? You're just going to end up using me as a rebound. You're moving too fast. You haven't been able to get out and experience the world and date people all these years. You've been in a marriage. You've been doing this and that. Please don't run through this. Do not tornado my life. Slow down. You know what you did. You know what the fuck you did. You know how you pressured me. You know what came next. We're going to get into it. You know what you did. Slow y'all's ass down. Learn how to date somebody properly. Learn how to be there just to be friends and get to know them first. All this bullshit. And no, I was not just sitting there believing whatever the fuck ever came out of somebody's mouth and blind lies and No. In fact, I even said from the very beginning, you know what? This is how these manipulative assholes will do people, though. And I want what's fair. I may not like the ex. I may not respect her. I may not have anything in common, whatever, what have you. But I want what's right. And those people deserve a voice. And if they've been made to look crazy, if they've been lied on in any capacity, manipulated, all that shit, they deserve to have a voice. The truth deserves to come out. Because these fuckers go right on down the line doing people like this. Smearing the character of a partner that loved them. So, from the very beginning, I was kind of like, you know, and of course I looked at everything. I read all the messages. I saw her shit. Get a vibe on her. They were talking back and forth for the first year. They had split up. This is the wrong way to go about stuff. Go out and get with somebody new, but yet you're still not over your last shit, and all that anger's coming, all the pain is coming. Wrong, man. And I'm responsible. I shouldn't have let you in like that. But you used the death of your fucking child to get in on me. And I was there for your ass. Anyway, I may not like somebody or respect somebody, but I want what's fair. And I would often say, I don't really think your wife wanted to leave you. See, because here's what these manipulative fucks do. Poor me. She victimized me. She cheated. She lied. She was horrible. She left me. Left with my friend. Did me so wrong. Goddamn, she was a bitch. But they don't tell what they did. See, I would pin him down. I would make him tell me. I'll say, oh, okay, well, all right, I get it. She did some shit to you. But what must you have done to brought on a reaction from her like that? Because I know I'm a woman. And when we get that cutthroat, oh, goddamn. And I got to thinking, well, you didn't go home a lot. You wanted to act like a fucking teenage boy, driving your fucking stupid sports car, letting some dumbass girl drive it who wrecked it and nearly killed you. I'm the one that fucking held that shoulder and helped you heal that shit. Running around, wanting to do drugs and alcohol and be some little teenage boy pimp. when you got a wife and kids at home. I'm sure she got sick of that shit. She probably did start cheating. I don't know who did what first, and I don't give a fuck. I was there to build a healthy, normal, real relationship with you. I was a different motherfucker. I wasn't her. Okay? But still, I didn't feel like she wanted to leave you. The more time went by, I started to pick up on, I think she loved you. Y'all might have done each other wrong and had some bad shit going on, but I think you pushed her into it. I think you treated her like garbage, like you started to treat me. She probably treated your ass bad too, but a lot of the time, somebody does try really hard to love somebody. I know I did. And I was sabotaged to death. He would not stop until I was being a bitch. Until I had fucking enough. He wouldn't stop. He couldn't stand it. He couldn't stand my love, my goodness, my maturity, my coolness. It always had to be chaos. I guess you and her sat up all day long, drunk, stupid, doing dope, fighting all day. I don't know what y'all fucking did. But I was on a different level, and you couldn't take it. You couldn't take my love. You couldn't take my honesty. You couldn't just let it be, man. I loved you so much. I was so fucking loyal to you. All the different bases and levels and whatever I needed to, I could hit that. I don't know what the fuck the deal was, man. I gotta clip this. It's getting too long, but or maybe I'll just upload it to YouTube, because it's going to be too hard to upload it to Facebook. But I need to get some of this out. So, I just wanted people to know that. I feel like a tornado hit my life. It happened way too fast, and everything that I told you, I was dead on accurate about what's going to happen. And